Hey guys, this is Eric from Invensis, and I welcome you to our YouTube channel. In today's session, we will discuss project scheduling in detail. Before we get started, I would like to address the agenda for today's session. First, we will start the session with an introduction to project scheduling and why it is important. Then, we will discuss the various project scheduling techniques and learn about the things to consider while creating a schedule. Finally, we will talk about some steps that will help in creating an ideal project schedule. I hope the agenda is clear. Also, if you like this video, do subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, to learn more about project management and its practices, check out Invensis Learning's Project Management Certification Training on Prince2, Project Management Fundamentals, PO, and MSP. All of the necessary information is given in the description box below. So now, starting with the first topic for today. What is project scheduling? A project schedule is a method for communicating what work should be done, which organizational resource or team will do it, and when it should be done. The project schedule should include the majority of the work involved in completing the work on time. Without a detailed timeline, the project manager will be unable to communicate costs and resources that are essential to the project's completion. It can also be defined as a thorough process of creating a project schedule that includes the project phases, tasks within each stage, and dependencies. It considers the skills and resources needed for each activity, as well as the sequence in which they must be completed, the milestones, the interdependencies, and the time required to complete it. So this was just a brief introduction to project scheduling. Now, let us move on to our next topic and understand why it is important. Talking about some of the advantages of the project schedule. First is, effective management and communication. A well thought out and written schedule will outline how a project will be managed from start to end. It lays a timeline for events, activities, deliverables, objectives, and milestones and when they must be completed. It can serve as the foundation for defining and conveying project success, key performance indicators, and the roles and duties of individuals of the project team. Next, tracking progress. Schedules provide a useful structure for tracking a project's progress throughout time. Schedules may give crucial feedback on whether the project is progressing according to plan and if it will be finished on time by assessing the status of activities and milestones. Monitoring the schedule can assist the project manager in identifying key tasks, prospective delays, and options for resolving project issues if necessary. Next, efficient resource management. Schedules help with the planning, allocating, mobilizing, motivating, and monitoring of all resources' productivity and efficiency, whether it's people, equipment, or money. Appropriately resourced schedules help in the appropriate alignment and sequencing of activities and their durations, ensuring that their use is maximized. It also helps in the improvement of continuity and the reduction of expenditures. Also, it helps in accountability. This might involve exchanging information, accomplishing crucial key tasks on schedule, responding to contractor and customer inquiries, doing needed testing, and various other documentation and project reporting types. Next, it provides better coordination and focus. Schedules might guide regular team meetings to receive and review status reports. In addition, continuous discussions about individual items or work packages can assist the team in reducing coordination issues and misunderstandings, gain a more comprehensive view of progress and key implementation challenges, and focus on the efforts and energies as they move from one activity to another the next. Then, it improves financial performance. Scheduling has a significant influence on a project's overall financial success, especially when time limits the usage of resources in the fulfillment of specific activities. Individuals making the schedule must account for both the economical and effective utilization of project resources, particularly when they are highly specialized and expensive. It should be remembered that finishing tasks in a short amount of time usually costs more owing to the additional resources that are sometimes required and rushed. Furthermore, accurate estimating and planning estimates assist in avoiding extra charges that drive up project prices. Next, it helps in quality control. Finally, schedules help maintain essential quality components by encouraging project team members to handle complaints, difficulties, and issues in a timely way that is consistent with the client's expectations. By implementing quality controls from the start of the project, teams can guarantee that there are no severe difficulties at the end, which can delay completion and increase expenses due to rework. Schedules may also inform the quality control team, who can assist project managers in identifying and managing risks and identifying and grasping opportunities to speed up work when possible. So, these were some of the benefits of project scheduling. Now, let us move on to our next topic. What are the various project scheduling techniques? We are going to talk about techniques like critical path method or CPM, fast tracking, crashing, simulation, and resource optimization. Starting with critical path method or CPM. This method is completely mathematical in nature and allows you to compute the longest and shortest project timelines. Let's use an example to grasp this better. The project consists of 4 tasks, A, B, C, and D. Tasks B and D can only begin when job A is completed, while task C is not restricted in any way. Job A becomes the key task in this situation since the progress of B and D is dependent on it. Task A will be time sensitive, as any delay in its completion will cause the project's overall timeline to be pushed back. On the other hand, task C may be completed within a flexible timeline because it has no dependencies. In this situation, task C will have a float time. Now, a float time is when a job may be extended to a certain point without affecting the entire project. This is how a manager may compute each activity's start and end times while keeping the reliance of each task in mind and arriving at an exact result. A CPM approach may be used to project tasks when all deliverables and interdependencies are known. Fast tracking. Frequently, you'll find yourself in a situation where the project is on a tight timeline or is delayed due to various internal factors. Managers research and assess the critical route in such scenarios, evaluating the activities that may be done in parallel or overlapped. It enables them to do many activities simultaneously without compromising the project's scope or timeline. A software development project is a real-life example. If you need to complete the project quickly, tasks like design and development can be completed concurrently. For example, the development team may begin work once the design of critical elements has been finalized and authorized. The design team will continue to work on the remaining parts and functionality in the meantime. On the other hand, fast tracking requires precise planning and monitoring since managers must handle numerous activities at once. Next is crashing. Crashing is a time compression method that might be difficult to master. It includes allocating greater resources to certain activities to speed up the project's completion. For example, let's say you're working on a construction project with 2 workers. One more will be added by your project manager so that they may work on the remaining work. However, because it adds extra tasks of cooperation and communication with other resources, like explaining the work, this may not always work to your advantage. Adding additional work every day and paying overtime to the employees is another approach to using the crashing strategy. However, it can have 2 consequences: cost escalation, which might harm your income, and burnout of your team's energy. As a result, crashing can be used when your project budget allows it and you have generic resources in hand as a backup. Next is simulation. When project characteristics like deliverables and interdependencies are uncertain, simulation is utilized instead of the critical path technique. By adjusting 1 or 2 variables, simulation allows you to assess many situations. If the time taken to complete one activity is known, for example, you may change the resource use and observe how it impacts the finish date. You can arrive at the best fit situation after exploring numerous versions. Project managers often use the Monte Carlo simulation model. Managers can experiment with multiple values instead of assigning a single constant to the unknown variable. It helps them arrive at the best fit estimation or projection and create a concrete project plan. In addition, it forewarns prospective dangers, giving enough time to prepare a contingency plan. Next is resource optimization. The project's success is determined by the working teams, their talents, and effort. As a result, managers must maximize their talent by tapping into its full potential. At the same time, it's critical to keep their usage under control. Underutilization of resources results in decreased productivity and less work done. Overuse, on the other hand, can lead to exhaustion and burnout. This is why, when the deadlines are too near, managers use a resource optimization strategy. Assume that the project is time sensitive and that the deadlines cannot be changed. They will either book extra resources to support the important employee. Resource smoothing is the term for this. If the project's time frame is flexible, managers will start the project based on the availability of the resource to avoid overutilization. This method is known as resource leveling. These two strategies can assist managers in designing timetables that are compatible with the emotional and physical well-being of their resources. So these were some of the project scheduling techniques. Now, before moving forward, if you like this video and haven't yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, do subscribe and hit the notification bell to never miss an update from the Invensis Learning channel. Also, to learn more about project management and its practices, check out Invensis Learning's Project Management Certification Training on Prince2, Project Management Fundamentals, PO, and MSB. All of the necessary information is given in the description box below. Now, let us move on to our next topic and discuss the things to remember while creating a project schedule. How things function, and how to make things work better have long fascinated project managers. As a result, each project's timeline is created during the planning phase. The following are the methods that are anticipated to be used to schedule a project. First is define activities. Define activities allows project managers to utilize the work breakdown structure or WBS and a deliverables diagram to identify and start the required task to complete the project on schedule. As a result, they will be aware of the actions that must be included in the plan. Next, sequence activities. It helps to determine the relationship between the project activities. After the sequencing is done, the next stage is organizing the jobs and identifying dependencies, for instance, finish to finish, finish to start, start to start, start to finish. Then, do estimates. The project team has specified the activities and tasks in a breakdown structure. The next step is to decide the best time to execute the project. To create a timetable, you'll need an estimate of what to accomplish, how to do it, and the most important element of the equation, how long a project should take to complete. Next, determine dependencies. Projects aren't always straightforward. Usually, a project cannot begin until the one already in progress has been completed. We call that task dependencies. As a result, you will need to factor these initiatives into your plan. As project managers, you might follow a technique by keeping track of your calendar to accommodate these associated initiatives. Then is assign resources. The final step is to assign resources to complete your schedule. It determines which resources you will assign to perform the assigned tasks on time. As a project management team, you must have the appropriate resources, and your time must be factored into assignment planning. Now, when you're ready to create a project timeline, acquire input from your higher authorities and implement the necessary revisions. Before you move on to execute the project plan, you'll need to estimate it. It will help you in comparing anticipated and real dates of the project. Also, consider the task's objectives to help you create a timetable. Now, let us move on to our next topic and talk about creating an ideal project schedule. First, make a list of the tasks that will be included in the timetable. For this, refer to the duties listed in the work breakdown structure for this. Next, determine the tasks' interrelationships. Now, determine which tasks must be done before moving on to the next. Determine which tasks can be completed while others are being completed. The dependencies can be shown using a network diagram, which is a precedence diagramming approach. Next, assign each task to a specific member of the team. This establishes the task's ownership. Also, it is one of the important components in a project's eventual success is assigning the appropriate person to the correct assignment. Next, calculate how much time and effort each task will take. For this, work with individual team members or those who have previous project experience. Then, make an estimate on an assumed level of skills. And, also document the assumptions used while estimating. Next, consider the various factors that go into creating a schedule. Which is: first, constraints of the project. Then, assumptions. Next, materials lead and lag time delay, and when, where, and how the activity must be completed. Next, project risks. Then, vacations, meetings, debates, staff contacts, or any commitments that the team members may have. Next, time for staff training. The next thing is, include a contingency and unanticipated event time reserve in your schedule. A contingency plan is a plan that accounts for unanticipated events that might cause a timetable delay. The amount of time contingency to allow is determined by the following factors. First, the level of risk that can be tolerated in the event of a delay. Second, the thoroughness with which the project has been defined. Next, how successfully will the job be managed? A good rule of thumb for scheduling contingency is 20%, although a project might contain more or less depending on the criteria. Next is identify the project's critical path. The critical route is a project management approach that examines which activities have the least scheduling flexibility that are the most essential, and then forecasts project length based on those activities. Activities in the critical route cannot be postponed without affecting the project's overall completion date. So, examine techniques for shortening the critical path if it exceeds the decided deadline. Next, check to determine whether there is a surplus of workers. If the team is overworked, find a strategy to level the team to give the appropriate amount of work. Actions that could be taken are: first, change the timetable to make room for the limitation. Then, make extra resources available for the task. Next, reduce the tasks or scope of work. Then, make any necessary changes to the personnel strategy. Something to keep in mind here is: bringing new employees may speed up the work, but it comes at a cost. Not every group is interchangeable. The new person's skill level may have an impact on the work's completion time and quality. Also, contract workers may require extra supervision. Moving on, repeat steps until you've established a baseline. It is an iterative procedure to develop the project schedule. Next, place the schedule information in a Gantt chart. Create a Gantt chart with the tasks, milestones, relationships, staff allocated, durations, and work estimates to display the project's comprehensive scheduling. A Gantt chart depicts a project by depicting each task as a horizontal bar whose length reflects the amount of time required to finish the activity. Gantt charts may be created using a variety of project management technologies. In addition, other formats can be utilized to show schedule information depending on your customer's needs and preferences. So, this was about creating an ideal project schedule. With this, we have come to an end of this video. I hope it was helpful. If you liked this video and haven't yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, do subscribe and hit the notification bell to never miss an update from the Invensis Learning channel. Also, to learn more about project management and its practices, check out Invensis Learning's Project Management Certification Training on Prince2, Project Management Fundamentals, PO, and MSB. All of the necessary information is given in the description box below. Thank you. Have a great day.